How does a trained swimmer drown in a pond? You are now within minutes of horror, and your only chances of survival is hitting that like button. With that being said, let's continue on with the video. So we now know Tafari Campbell is a swimmer. Not only is he a swimmer, but he's a trained swimmer. So we have to ask ourselves, how does a trained swimmer have an accident to the point that he drowns in a pond of all places? There's nothing stating he had a medical condition which caused him to go overboard. No, the only ruling is that he had an accident. It's not like he fainted and went into the water, because he resubmerged and he was struggling to stay afloat in the water, a pond. And like I said before, the characteristics of a pond is that they have no tides. They have no strong currents noticeable enough to swiftly take you out into the water. And the waters had to have been calm because he went out there, or it was reported that he went out there without a life jacket. And we also have to ask ourselves, if he did fall overboard due to an accident, we know he resubmerged. Why didn't he just grab a hold of his paddleboard when he resubmerged? You're not supposed to ask these type of questions. You're just supposed to accept the fact that a trained swimmer drowned in a pond. It was an accident. A person who he was with did not attempt to help him. He did not attempt to reach and hold on to his paddleboard. Ponds aren't that type of water to have strong currents and tides. So we're just to accept the fact that he had an accident. Just like another main chef who worked for the Clintons and the Bushes, Walter Sheeb, who went hiking by himself in the New Mexico mountains, drowned in a drain ditch. And the final report was that it was an accident. He did not have a medical condition. He was not intoxicated. There was no foul play. He just had an accident to where he drowned in a drain ditch. I know one thing, I would not want to be a main chef for these political families, because what exactly is being cooked here, or what are they eating that they have to bump off these top chefs? We do know Tafari Campbell was writing a tell-all book about his experiences with the Bushes and the Obamas. But now, surprise, surprise, it's canceled. Of course it's canceled because the man is dead. So if a trained swimmer did not have an accident and drown in the pond by accident, then what exactly happened here? Now I am going to give my theory, and it's my own theory. You do not have to believe it. Matter of fact, when it comes to any of my theories, especially the ones on the plane, you don't have to believe any of them. I'm not asking you to believe it. I'm just stating my theory, and you can form your own opinion around it, your own idea around it. And I think that's the biggest misconception when it comes to my channel, because people believe I am forcing them to believe what I am saying. That is exactly not the case here. I'm just spitballing ideas, and you can do what you want with it. And what I do believe happened here is that he was with another person paddleboarding, as police report states that he was with another person. This person hit him upside the head with the paddle, or in the face. He falls over, he goes under the water, he resubmerges, and this person keeps hitting him with the paddle until he eventually either faints, becomes unconscious, and drowns. Or another plausible theory that I heard is that somebody was waiting for him under the water wearing an oxygen tank, and when Tafari and this other person arrived to this location at the pond, this person hits Tafari, he falls over, and whoever is under the water is holding him down. Tafari fights, he resubmerges from the water, but he's still being held onto. He tires out and he goes under, and this person that's holding onto him drowns Tafari. Unless there are real monsters lurking in this pond in Martha's Vineyard that grabbed a hold of Tafari Campbell, I just can't imagine this trained swimmer falling overboard on his paddleboard and not be able to help himself. I just can't picture it if this is indeed just an accident like all the reports are stating. And these political elite are not even hiding what they're doing anymore. They're doing everything in plain sight. They're so confident about it, they're even giving terrible excuses. And if you speak outside that narrative, if you ask questions, you will be labeled a crazy conspiracy theorist. So it's either you take their official word for what happened, don't ask any questions, or you're crazy. Well, I'd rather have an open mind and ask questions and be labeled crazy than have a closed mind and pretend to be the smartest person in the room. Because if this was anyone else that was not among the elite, we would have 1,001 questions. Look how many people were bumped off that were connected to the Clintons and were just labeled in accidents. One of the more bizarre deaths was Tim Russert's, who was a news analyst for MSNBC. He was interviewing both George Bush and John Kerry and asked them, what exactly does skull and bones mean, 322? And they both dodged the question. And he keeps pressing on, and they still dodge the question, and they act nervous.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
First of all, he's not the nominee. Look, I look for...
Are you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
And we'll be watching. Be safe on the campaign trail. John Kerry, thanks for joining us. And we'll be right back.
Next thing you know, Tim Russert dies of a heart attack. Both George Bush and John Kerry were bonesmen. Yes, Tim Russert is a big guy, and big people do unfortunately die of heart attacks, but I would say the timing is a little strange indeed. This news reporter had enough guts to face a president and the person he's running against, another political elite, John Kerry, and ask them about their involvement with a secret society. He would be the first and the last to do so, because I guess the other reporters got the memo, and nobody ever asked about their involvement with these secret societies ever again. Or how about Loretta Fuddy, the health director that handled Barack Obama's birth certificate? She was flying in a plane in Hawaii, her plane goes down, she is on board with 8 other people, all 8 people are rescued and survived, but she is the only one who passed away. I mean, you can keep going on and on about all these mysterious deaths that are connected to these families, but you're not supposed to ask any questions because, again, we are what the cool kids call a wackadookie conspiracy theorist. We are just nut jobs. And I do feel that Tafari Campbell's story will end in one of 2 ways. Either it will come out that he was highly intoxicated with alcohol or narcotics, he fell off his paddleboard, and when he landed in the water, he just could not help himself, or it was just an accident, and that's all that we need to know, and it will be swept under the rug. But I do want to know your thoughts. Do you happen to believe this fit man who is a trained swimmer just happened to fall off his paddleboard into a pond and he couldn't help himself? Or do you believe, no, they hit him upside his head? I want to know your thoughts. Please comment below. In any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.